What's going on, you guys? Back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about 2 ways to kill the narc's plan and make them look bad. Now, that might not be the title of the video because it's a little too long, but I'm going to tell you 2 things that ruins their plans and it backfires on them every time. And that is only if you don't play the game with them. You can't play the game with them. You can't fall into the trap. You can't go along with them. You have to go a different direction than the narcissist. Narcissists are known to offer so much to you in the beginning. And I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you. And a lot of times we're glad to have someone at our service, somebody who seems genuine, someone who's really friendly and kind and helpful, and they want to be there and they're giving a helping hand. But soon we'll notice that, there's a price to pay for that, and that is, see, the narcissists, they're only doing it to get something in return. And we'll figure it out that, okay, well, if they're kind enough to do so much for me, then I'll do the same for them. But the thing about it is, when you realize that this is a pattern that you don't want to be a part of, and you decide not to deal with them in that way, what the narcissist will do is all those things that they offer to help you with or anything, they'll stop doing it and you will notice it. They will leave a mess for you to pick up. They'll just up and disappear once they realize that you're not going to play that game with them and go along with them. You see, the narcissist can fool many people for a long time, but it's a lot of people who they only have for a little while, and people realize what's going on and I don't want to be a part of this. And see, that's the narc's worst nightmare, because they think that they can have you for as long as they can use you. Again, they'll leave a mess for you, and you'll start to feel like, okay, there's more for me to do now. You'll start to feel more of a responsibility for you, because for so long you weren't doing it. Remember, because the narc was doing all these things for you. So it's nothing for you to just pick up the pieces and clean up behind it and do what needs to be done to tidy things up, to get things back in order and back operating, the way it was before the narcissist came along. When that happens, the narcissist looks back and they notice that, the world doesn't stop for them. Life goes on and I don't need you. And see, that is not what they're expecting. They're expecting for you to feel some type of way. They're expecting for you to feel their absence and have a need for them. But you don't need the narcissist. That's their whole plan, is to get you to need them. So that when that time comes, when they know that they got you right where they want you, they just can up and disappear. They know that you're going to run behind them. But what kills them is that you don't run behind them. And they wasn't expecting that. So what happens is they start to notice that you could get along just fine without them. You are doing just fine without them, with a smile on your face, picking up the mess that they left behind. And they leave the mess behind as punishment because they couldn't have a certain way with you, And that exposes the narcissist. It exposes the narcissist to people who they have fooled into believing that they're just this perfect person to be around. You would love to have them in your life. But once you figure out how they are, you have that power to expose them. But the best thing to do is not to deal with it at all. You don't have to stoop to their level, and wrestle with that, because it's going to make you look bad. And then it's taking energy away from you. Don't even waste your energy on that. They're not worth it, because you already know the game they playing. Anything that serves them, they're going to milk it until it's completely drained. So instead of you know, explaining to the narcissist where you said that you would do this, things like that, you realize that it was all a part of a tactic. It was something that was working for them for a little while and until it wasn't. And then you don't have that, you don't have that luxury or that privilege anymore from them. Not, from their perspective. That's how they're very arrogant. So they feel like if she don't do this much for me or he don't do that much for me, why should I do that for them? But it's like I never asked for it. That's something that you offered. I never asked for these things from you. The narc have such a strong sense of entitlement till they come into your life and they tell you who you're going to be for them rather than, you know, just let things happen and ask you, would you like? See, they don't know how to ask you, would you like? And again, when they start to see that you can do fine without them and things are looking better without them, you don't need them in any kind of way. The narcissist, that's when their plan, it fails. And so not only that they don't have you, they lost you, they lost the potential, good things they could have had in the future. They lost good supply. They lost it all. Because you can make it happen without them. You're going to do the best you can to take care of business. And you're going to be at peace with it. With narcissists, when they realize that the plan fails, of course, they're never at peace. They're already unsettled people. They're never at rest with anything. They're never satisfied with anything. Nothing's good enough. They never get enough. So, the thing about it is the way they wanted you to wear yourself out doing something that they thought you wouldn't want to do because you haven't done it in so long, they begin to feel drained from the fact that their plan failed. See how that backfires on them real quick. Now that they lost you, they're not getting that fulfillment anymore of what they could have had. They messed that up. So now they feel drained and down and just, feeling in the dumps. And a lot of times when a narc feels that way, there goes the downward spiral and you'll start to see them, just being these very erratic moods, angry or disruptive, or just very unsettled. And you start to see them act a certain way till you really don't know what you're going to get out of them. It's like a glitch takes place in their mind. There's a glitch, and they're not going to feel, refreshed and reprogrammed until they get the new supply or until things go back in that direction that they wanted it to go, which that's not going to happen with you. So they may try to find new supply, but they lost you. And they took a big loss when they lost you because that plan backfired and it made them look bad. So they look bad, they're behaving badly. It's just horrible right now for them. And why would you want to fight that? Like, why would you want to even go up against that? Let them have it. Let them leave. If they want to stop doing something for you, let them stop doing it. That's fine. Because you know what? You never asked for it in the first place. That's what they fail to realize is that you have a memory. You still have a memory if you just take the time out to backtrack and think back to how it was in the beginning with the narc. They are the ones who offer up so much just in order to gain friendship, which is really not even friendship. It's just supply. It's all about what they can get out of you to make themselves feel good, even if that means love bombing you and buying you things. But that's gonna stop because even the things that you give them kind of gets old at some point. That's why they disappear sometimes and go find new supply. They just crazy. So why bother dealing with somebody like that once you realize that what they do is wrong? Just let them go and move on with your life and be at peace about it. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to you soon.